Hello there, welcome back to Charles Circle, and welcome back to Anno 117. Last time, we built ourselves a proper navy and tested it out against some pirates. This is our first proper foray into the combat aspect of the game, and we're going to try to keep getting further into it. So, let's get belligerent. I've got a couple military-oriented goals for us today. The first is to continue to assault the pirates to keep testing and learning, and we'll go ahead and upgrade and adjust our fleet based on what we learned last time about how ships should specialize, etc. We will try to secure the seas and maybe locate and potentially damage, if not destroy, the pirates' base island. And then the second big goal will be to set the diplomatic conditions for attacking another governor, because we've got to see how that works too. So I think maybe quickly, let's go in and talk about those diplomatic conditions and show sort of what our current situation is. As a reminder, we have a defensive pact with Dorian. We are at peace with Lycia Ma and Tarragon, as you can see here. So we could declare war directly on Lycia Ma right now. There's an all-out war or a limited war. The difference here seems to be, well, all-out war you can destroy civilian units and buildings. Limited war you can only attack military units and buildings. The other differences between these two relate to the Emperor. So there is a reputational cost, it seems, to declaring any war, but doubly so for an all-out war. And in fact, this would take, for example, our entire Emperor's diplomatic reputation. And the Emperor is likely to intervene at a certain point if things get out of control. So something to keep in mind there. We don't know what the Emperor intervening looks like at this point, but it doesn't seem like a good thing. The other thing to keep in mind is, for example, with Tarragon, if we go into enter negotiations here, we actually have a non-aggression pact here for 3 hours of game time that will prevent us from declaring war at all, period, with him. The same is true with Dorian, right, with whom we have a defensive pact, and breaking the defensive treaty would actually cost us a decent chunk of our Emperor reputation as well. So naturally, our sort of disinterested interactions with diplomacy to this point have sort of painted ourselves into a bit of a corner, but I think that's also totally fine. So we won't attack Dorian. One, it'll be too costly from a Emperor reputation perspective. Two, it'd be nice to have a, defensive pact backup in case something goes poorly here. I was looking at it and I think I would prefer to attack Tarragon, generally speaking. He's right here. A lot of walls, not that many troops. Over here though, Lycia Ma, nice little walled city, tons of troops. Now she's also someone we can attack earlier because of the lack of a non-aggression pact. And it's not that far from our main island, really, which is over here. We could probably come around, assault either directly here or this is the harbor. So it seems like, based on the decisions we've accidentally made to this point, Lycia Ma is probably our best venue for a war going forward. So I think what we should probably do is move slowly in that direction. We're not quite ready for it yet anyway, and we don't want to burn our reputation before we have to. So I think what we'll do is powerfully rebuke by breaking this trade treaty.
Tarragon is such a great dinner guest. If only
And
people would stop mentioning Merope.
fight the pirate in the meanwhile before we are ready to declare
Would
this
you
war.
consider a better offer?
Before we do, we'll have to decide if we want to go all out or limited. And if we can't get ourselves a little bit of Emperor reputation meanwhile, we'll keep an eye out for ways that we could boost that as well, since it has been at least a difficult currency for us to get so far, and seems like it will be something we are throwing away in order to declare some wars. But if we can conquer, it will be worth it. So let's do that. So I've also queued up a few military researches that we'll talk about here in a moment. The first, which is definitely the funniest, is I was trying to figure out how to get armor on ships earlier, and towards the end of the last episode, it turns out, yeah, I just hadn't finished researching it yet. So in 23 seconds, we'll go ahead and show what that looks like in the shipbuilder. But the other thing I think we can probably do is this quest, Mare Infestum, which I believe means that the seas are infested, is probably a combat mission. So I think we're going to send our flagship over to Diana's harbor to trigger this in the meanwhile. And then if that gives us a combat mission, we'll pursue it. If it doesn't, we'll just send our fleet out to mess with the pirates a bit. I think we'll also keep building ships here. I believe, yep, we have our armor. So let's show what this looks like. So I was chewing on how, what we'd learned last time. And if I could summarize it, your weapons should be specialized. I don't think a mix of these two is a good idea. Archers do a lot more damage once you are in close, and scorpions do more damage from range, but the issue is if you have 1-on-1, the first thing that comes into range is the scorpion. And so your ship will, once it comes into scorpion range, start trying to fire the single scorpion and totally ignore the fact that it has archers on the boat. So I think you kind of need to specialize so that you end up with the proper range triggers for all of your weapons to go off at the same time. Otherwise, it's just a little bit awkward and you have to do a lot more micro. The other thing I think we will probably think about doing is specializing our ships based on the need in the moment. So all of these, right, are interchangeable slot-wise. You can only have singles of each of these, but they all take up one of the 3 slots that we have available to us, and the remaining 2 are for cargo, or troops, for example. And a troop transport type ship could be heavily armored, able to go upwind, and faster downwind, so that you have the ability to quickly drop troops in or evacuate them out. A ship-to-ship combat, like a heavy assault ship-to-ship combat type of ship, would be something like 2 archers for the most up-close and personal damage that you can get ship-to-ship, with some survivability here on the ship hull. If you wanted to do a ship that was purely for a harbor siege, you might go 3 scorpions and nothing else, right? And so what we've been doing, I think, what we're going to do generally for ship to ship, or what most of our ships already are, is 2 archers and some oars. I think the maneuverability is really helpful. Our trade ships are more like ship mast and everything else cargo. So I really like this system. It allows you a lot of modularity, right? And you can customize based on what you need. I think it could be a little bit easier. I wish there were ways to sort of save different presets. There might be, I haven't figured out yet, but yeah, I like it generally. I think it's pretty cool. So I think the first thing we'll do here is actually create a troop transport. This being, how we're going to drop and/or quickly evacuate our troops. So let's do one of those real quick. And the other thing I want to do is get a little bit of military infrastructure, but let's actually quickly see what's going on with this quest first. Oh great, we're to blame. Wonderful. But a trader ship was attacked by raiders right after departing from Diana's harbor. All right, cool. So this does in fact seem like we'll want to get our... Where is this actually? We want to get our navy out here. Okay. Well, let's do that. And I think we can get our flagship in this area as well. Cool. Back at home, though, I was looking at our land troops, and as we said, some of our competitors have more than we do, and if we are thinking about assaulting them, we should probably crank up our production of those units. I'm seeing mostly spears and archers, and the combat here is kind of an RPS, spears beat cavalry, who beat archers, who beat spears. So if we're going up against spears and archers, we should get some more archers of our own to counter those spears, and maybe consider some cavalry to take out their archers. So if we were to build ourselves an equitum campus in this area, we will be able to recruit some cavalry of our own. There it is. Now, doing that requires horses. So we'll need to set up that production here. The horse breeder looks like it's happiness at the expense of health, which I suppose we could do out here. This seems to be our gross farming district. We'll need some pastures, but that's pretty doable. Something like that, I guess, right? So we'll let those horses accumulate, and then we'll build ourselves a unit over here. How are our ships doing? Speed that up a little bit. The other thing I would like to do is drop a siege workshop, and I have no idea what we're going to need to support this, but I think we kind of want it. I'm looking around trying to find some space here. We've thought about reserving this area for military production, but have then also filled it in with, let's say, not productions that support military rather than actual direct military unit production. So our sailmakers are here, our armorers are here, etc. We might have to rearrange some of that. We also have some more support buildings in this area, which is not a bad idea either, but okay. So maybe we will rearrange this a little bit and drop a siege workshop when we get done with this mission, but I think we're pretty close here, so yeah. I would rather take this on first. Drop back down to normal speed, and let's close in here. So, Legionnaires discovered. I said I would tell you about the research as it happens, and that's one of them. We should now be able to upgrade, or rather to produce, these Legionnaire units, which compared to our Auxilia, which are our basic spear infantry, let's see. They are 10% slower, they have significantly more morale, 350 versus 500, same number of people, same number of health, looks like better offense, and significantly better defense. 7 versus 6 on offense, and 14 versus 9 on defense. So these are highly survivable units. They do not have an anti-cavalry bonus. Okay. So if we were going up against a bunch of spears, this is another way, I think, to probably complement our archers. We'll build one. Why not, right? We've got them. All right, and then out here, let's select and escort. Escort missions mean we're probably going to be assaulted. Well, let's see. And why do we have an issue here? Storage is empty. Doesn't matter. Actually, the one thing I also noticed before I turn the camera on is we have the ability to add more fields now because we have upgraded our global level of devotion to Ceres. In fact, by quite some amount. I think that temple must have done it or something. Who knows? But we can add 50% more fields to increase the productivity 50% for the same number of workforce, support, maintenance, etc. So as we need to expand our fields, we will definitely want to do this by adding fields rather than entire new farms. Something to keep in mind for a bunch of these, including olives, which, is that what they were mad about? Uh-oh, we're under attack. We should probably focus on that instead of olives. Well, no, that's fine. It looks like we took care of that without having to stop. Nice. Very good. Cool. All right. So then maybe we will come back here I'm going to take 30 seconds here to move things around so that we can add our siege workshop down here as well. So just going to relocate some productions. I'll be right back. That'll do for now. We have, nice, the ability to create an onager. So this will be how we knock down walls if we need to, but not something to use in combat so much, I think, directly against units. Although I bet if it lands, it's a pretty devastating hit. Let's see, we'll find out. Gotta build one. Cool. All right, let's get back over here because yes, we are in fact taking out another ship. Very good. And then coming back here to our main island.
Gather arrows.
We should get our troops, I suppose, over near where the boats would be. Let's see. So that's a pair of archers. Let's go ahead. We have our legionnaires building here. Do we have enough horses yet? Not quite, but they're coming in. All right. And then we've also got this protective entourage research, which upgrades, I believe, our auxilia. Indeed it does. Over here, it gives them additional morale and toughness. I think morale is, you know, how long until they flee if combat's going poorly, typically. That's what it is in these types of games. Let's find out in combat. Toughness, I don't know, but hopefully means they don't die as hard. And then the other thing we grabbed, just FYI, is torching speed, which I believe is infantry anti-damage, infantry anti-building damage, excuse me. It's pretty good. We're destroying these ships before I have the ability to actually click on the notification. What do you got, Ben Ballon? A convoy chartered by Syracuse will soon be returning to his island of Syracuse. It's a good opportunity to strike at Syracuse, and perhaps make some profit while you're at it. I think we probably will do this. Naval battles? Great. Recommend seeking support from an ally in the region, either Diana or Valeria.
Perhaps the Lady Diana or Lady Valeria could assist in this.
Interesting. So we can trade a share of the reward for some assistance. I don't know, maybe this is a little bit of hubris, but it feels like our Navy's pretty good right now. Let's see if we can do it. Indeed.
My sincerest appreciation.
We are at 3 horses out of 10. I don't think we need to add a whole bunch of these farms. I don't think this is going to be the core of our army. They have a strong charge, which is nice, but otherwise just sort of normal offense, normal defense. A lot of speed though, 27 feet per second. It's pretty good. That's 3 times as fast as the Legionnaires. Another ship absolutely rinsed. Very good. Are you nearly done? It looks like you're coming in here for docking.
I'm talking about.
Perfect. Cool, 2K. Very meaningful to us. Okay. Ah, there's another stage, it seems. So, yes, shall we attack pirates? Let's take 2 seconds, just real quick, to hit this repair crane, just to top off our boats. Can we push him into the repair crane range? He could use a little bit of a help. At any rate, so we'll do that in a moment here. Coming back, the onager just requires the weapons that I think we are still pretty good on supplying. Construction materials they count as, great. And in fact, are we selling them down? Yeah, we are. Let's continue to do that, but let's say only when they're very close to overflowing. Legionnaires coming along. So, let's see. This seems pretty much done. Perfect. Let's do it. Let's attack some pirates. Go ahead, I guess, escort him along the way until he gets there. Or actually, hang on a sec. Yeah, he's not going there at all. Let's not escort him. He's just leaving the map. He will no longer be, I see, part of this quest. All right, so out this way then, I guess, is where we need to go. That's through where I kind of think the pirates are on the minimap. Again, just sort of looking at like where these boats tend to be spawning. So I think we're going to do this, but cautiously. So I think the first thing we'll do is say, come on out here. And let's see what we discover along the way. We are what? Still apparently not producing enough olives? Is that what that is supposed to mean? It does. It does seem to be. I think that's because we're hoovering them all up here to make olive oil. And when that does fill up, I think it should take care of itself, but I don't really think we have to wait for that because, again, as we said, we actually do have a lot more fields now, which is kind of cool. That's a lot of olives. Hopefully that's enough. So we take Apricus and Bononia. It is just barely enough olives to supply both islands. And again, this is sort of artificially inflated right now here in Apricus because we are making a ton of olive oil for export over to the New World. And eventually, that will even out, and in fact I can illustrate that by going into Consumer Goods, Apricus, Morrigar, and showing that we are making far more, even across both of these two islands, far more olive oil than we need. So, that'll back up. We are out of researches. Let's add something else that'll be helpful. We have archers, that'll be good. Our onagers could be better, I suppose. Our cavalry as well. Good enough for now. So let's go over and see. All right. And where exactly are our boats compared to this? Not there, it seems. So this is the cutting the chain quest. Oh, we must have accidentally already finished the merchant one? I feel like I saw a brief notification that he said hello or something.
You have a great exemplary.
Yep. No idea. I think we must have missed it. And by we... Ah, there it is. Okay. The merchant is grateful for your protection. Another 2K. Great. Wonderful stuff. All right, well, let's go take a peek out here is where we said it is. All right. So let's get our boats over here, I suppose. And back here. We've got our onagers.
Our scouts have sighted new land.
All right. Very cool. Can't wait to see what they can do to the walls. And then our legionnaires also. Like the legionnaire shields. The fellows operating the onagers also had them, I think, which is kind of cool. Should we add any more basic infantry? I haven't seen any cavalry, so I don't know that I care to bother adding much in the way of spearmen.
Has
But
started in your city.
now let's see what's going on over here in Albion. Checked it out yet this episode, and there's a fire. Lovely stuff. Do we have
Attack.
fire safety out this way? Not really. Not really. Controversial opinion. I think we should just let this burn down and rebuild it. It'll repair itself. Our silver forges are already overproducing here, so that's okay. Out this way, though, do we actually have... Finally, we were waiting on the olive oil, and we do. So why don't we upgrade? I think that's a good idea. Let's just do a block here to start, see what we unlock. Nice. So we can produce concrete out here now. Bird tongues in aspic, or whatever that's called. Some wine. Oh, smiths are now available. Your waiters can now be upgraded to smiths and aldermen. Your Celtic residents are skilled craftsmen and enjoy local products. Oh, okay. So if we upgrade far enough, we can do both paths. Is that what that means? Gotta pause here. I see. All right, so this third tier is nobles, and it looks like that is the highest tier out here. And since we've reached nobles, I see, we can now upgrade. Let's go to our basic one, and you can go either direction here. Yeah, we can go to Celtic or Romanized. Okay, interesting. All right, so they are not mutually exclusive. It's just what do you commit to first, it seems. So if we wanted, we could do that. I think we should. So let's add all of these, I suppose. I'm wondering if I do the U upgrade directly. Ah, there we go. I see. So I can toggle. I was a little worried I'd be accidentally upgrading them the other direction. And what do these guys want? Smiths. They want, I think, a lot of the same stuff. We've got our cockles and our eels. We can now, I think, actually make cheese and beer and whatever this is. There's a recreation ground and Phantom. We do have the Phantom already, I think. Not reaching out here, obviously. And then eventually we can upgrade trousers and torques. Okay. As well as drinking horns and clan shields. Cool. So I'm wondering, these guys probably have a different parallel tier 3 as well, right? These nobles are the... That's a series. These nobles are the tier 3 Romana Celtic. I bet there's a pure Celtic tier 3 as well. So we'll have to get going on that. Maybe we'll quickly make the easy stuff here. I think we already had the Phantom, right? All right, so we just need more of these smiths. So again, toggling the Celtic upgrade here, just to be safe.
Under attack.
I guess we should pay attention to that. We'll come back to Albion.
Under attack.
Nice. Check out the flotsam. Anything good? Of course not.
Under attack.
It's fine. He's running away. Very good. Oh shoot, our flagship got out ahead. You to get in there and bail him out, please. Hopefully this doesn't end as poorly as I think it's going to.
Through hardship to the stars.
Very good. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Our flagship is going to grab the flotsam and probably run home to heal, which is fine. 25 armor, though, we will definitely take. Someone else in here has some flotsam to transfer over, presumably. Yeah. Can I just drag and drop there? I can, which is cool. Still got room? Not too much, but if there's anything else... Yeah. Most of it, at least. All right, let's get you home. Go repair. And I will try not to send you out into dangerous territory like that again. All right, but the raiders are out here. All right. Let's... Oop, chase that guy down. Nice. Grab flotsam. More tiles. Let's just go ahead and wrap these guys up. I don't want to get combat notification distractions. Looks like they're patrolling in this area, so they should probably come to us. When did we pause the production? There we go.
Under attack.
Cool West target 1. Down.
Let's start in your city.
Fire now, Balloona. I don't know if we actually have fire safety there. We'll find out in a moment. But let's have this battle first. Focus down ship number 1, 2, and 3.
Under attack.
Grab some flotsam. Oh, flotsam is rescued citizens, it seems. So sure, come on home. Top off under the repair crane, and let's go see what it is that we've been ignoring. I think we said it was Alba Luna up here that had a fire. Decreased on account of we let everything burn. Did we actually have fire safety on this island? It seems like we did not. Imagine that. Our old nemesis, the consequences of our actions. Alright, let's just go there, I suppose. How is fire safety here? It's terrible. Let's add a couple wells. You know, mid-fire. Better late than never, I suppose. Oh, these are all in planning mode because presumably I don't have the timber. Yep, alright, sure. Go ahead and buy if we are under, call it 50 here, on timber at least. That seems reasonable. Alright, well, we'll come back to that. This obviously is going to need some work. Whoops. Alright. Over here. Looks like we're now out of olive oil, which is probably because we were out of olives, but I think we did handle that, hopefully. So that should take care of itself. So let's head back to Albion and take a closer look again at that population tier. No, we will not be doing defensive pacts, right? We just said that. And what we want to do here,
Put that in your
interesting,
Smoke
out
it.
of charcoal. Oh, right, on account of everything's burning up here. All right, you know what? Fine. I will build a fire station. So be it. All right, and then over here, we wanted to take a peek at, it's recreation ground, we need more smiths first. So let's do some more upgrading. Maybe this will be a smith's region as well. There we go. I think we also don't exactly have... Okay, so we do have timber here. That's good. So let's look at this. Recreation ground. So again, we already built a phantom. Prestige, health, happiness. All right. Let's do that, and we'll place it up here, right? Because that's where we've been upgrading these building types. We need... What is this? Wattle and Daub. There we go. Okay. So, we have to... I think we already have... Yes, so we have these already, actually. But instead of turning them into tiles, that's what this is. This is a tile, basically, right? but instead we mix it with reed gatherers. Okay. No problem. So let's add a reed gatherer. This requires a little bit of fields, marsh fields. So we'll slot those in here, try not to overlap. Oh, I think this might count as our series bonus as well for more productivity, which would mean that we could even... No, it does not. Or we did it after we noticed, who knows. But that's enough reeds. Good. Let's add another mud dryer. And I suppose here we will... maybe go out this way? Now let's just continue the road, right? Probably need to add another warehouse, but that is doable. We probably want 2 of these. And a warehouse. Call it there. Now, with all of that, I think we should still have plenty of reeds, hopefully. And then we need this laborer's yard. Now, does this need to be in the marsh? It does. It does not, but it can be. Marshland's probably something we should be a little bit more, I guess, like placing it here when I could place it not in the marshland is probably wasteful, but we have a lot of it, and if we need to move it later, we can. So we'll do it like that. We are also now way out of waiter workforce because we've increased our need and upgraded a bunch of them. So we will need to improve that as well here. So I guess let's pop on over here and add another block or 2. Or 3 or 4 maybe even. Yeah, I think that's right. Oh, a request from the Emperor.
Get this done for me, eh?
He's broke. Emperor-ing is costly work. Man, that is so true. It seems like he wants a donation. And because we have a ton of cash and we want reputation, look at that. 220k we're just sitting on. All that work we did last episode really worked well for us. Let's give him 35. If we can turn an excess into something we want more of, that is always a good conversion. You are welcome, sir. Remember that when I decide to warmonger later. Alright, and then we'll come back here in a moment. Let's quickly look at the cheese and beer real quick, but we'll have to let time pass here, essentially, to get our workforce back up and those Waddle and Daub construction materials to accumulate. So cheese. Featuring great downhill speeds and exceptional longevity, rugged cheese is loved not only by those that admit it. And a keg of authentic Celtic beer can wash away sorrows, fires, and all memory of the previous day. Brilliant. We'll probably want to set these up. Again, alcohol tanking knowledge is a good recurring bit in this game, but let's not quite yet bother setting all these productions up. We've seen these before here as well. These are 2 things that we actually see for our nobles back in Lachim as well. So, no big deal. I thought I saw a pirate out here, which is concerning. I'm not going to click on it because clicking on it last time introduced us, and I'd rather not if we can avoid it. Cool. All right, let's... What is this? Oh, this is just the thank you, right? Yeah, okay. What do you got? Can we rebuild these ruins yet? We know there was a fire. Alright, I think we have it. Very good. Very good. And then over here, let's prevent that from happening again. Same with these. Good. That's roughly close enough, I suppose. All right, where are we on... Perfect. More research, but let's get interesting. Can we turn it in here, please? I would like to. This is the quest target. Unless, are they physically an item stored? They are. There we go. As soon as that lights up, we will bam. Right click, throwing overboard. No, don't do that. Please collect. Guess we will have to go in here. I think you used to be able to shift click or something to directly transfer. Can't recall. At any rate, hopefully that works. My goodness, what's going on here? You're here. So what do we need to do? Very confused. Do we need to, like, equip them? Oh, we never even... Interesting, so I think we have to click on this to get it. Ooh, and if that's the case, let's go back to... Because it said 30 tons of wattle and daub. Can we do it here? Brilliant. Does it work on multiple islands? Presumably not. It does not. Cool, so that's a nice little boost. All right, something good to keep in mind, I think also for future playthroughs. That was what we unlocked from the Hall of Fame, right? It was that early Albion pack. Here it is, colored material pack, right? So I think we get this now in every playthrough, hopefully, once. Let's see. But that should give us enough wattle and daub, bam, to build the recreation ground. Cute. All right, very good. So we will come back here, I'm sure, but in Latium, I gotta figure out what the heck I'm supposed to be doing with this quest target then. Because we've done it, I don't really understand what what we're supposed to be doing here. All right, well, I'm over it. We'll come back to it. I'll play around with it off camera if I have to, but I have lost the attention span to pursue it any further right now. Let's get all of this dropped off, whatever we can at least. Very good. And then let's go fight the pirates some more. I think that's probably the move, right? Let's see if we can't go find their island. Get on out there. And we should be building a second navy as well. This is our troop transport. In fact, I'm going to label it so it's easy enough for us to see. And then I think we're going to get back to building some, let's say, siege type ships. So these will be slow, but they should be able to really blast at some harbor defenses from range. So I think we're going to make, let's call it 3 of those for now. Can we finally build some cavalry, by the way? We can. We can't build 2, but we can almost build 2. 9 out of 10 for the second one. Okay. So good to know, and probably good design is that cavalry are slow and expensive to produce unless you go hard into the horse production tree, which we could definitely do. It's a high-level workforce, but it's one that we can definitely crank up more of if we decide we want to. I'm not convinced we necessarily want to just yet. There we go. All right, cool. So what else shall we do? The other thing I'm thinking, and you can see it already ticking down, we've spent a lot of Libertas workforce on our military. They're required for ships, they're required for these units, etc. We should probably make sure that we're keeping up on them. And this Shrine of Ceres, which we continue to improve our limit on. We built all 5 right away when we could, but since then we've improved our shrine max count, so we might as well slap a couple of them down in this area where we haven't yet really developed as much. But because of that, these are low-level workforce. Those are exactly the workforce type, the Libertas, that we want to boost. And in fact, because it's a net gain, I'm actually going to straight up delete and slot this in here. That will actually increase our Libertas workforce overall. So that's good. Where else?
Under attack.
Well, ship's under attack. Maybe one over here, though. Something to think about when our ship is not under attack. Ah. Hey, let's fight the big ship, yeah? Got him. Very nice. Maybe some flotsam. Don't know if it'll be any good, but we might as well check. I feel like it's always tiles. Sails. There we go. Alright, so we are back this way, I see. Okay. That's another pirate. Let's go do that. Well, come on, folks, take the angle. Oh, he's trapped now. You're not getting out of this harbor area.
Under attack.
Got him. Flotsam? Sure, we'll take sails. Suppose we need them. Let's go see what is in this area. I keep saying, have this feeling like the pirate island is out this way. Uh-huh. There we go. So, kind of curious. Yeah, a lot of ships. I don't know. Do you think we'll ever be able to, like, land assault this? I also imagine there's a lot of, defenses before we would ever get close to that. So, should we probe those defenses briefly?
A new unit has been recruited.
Let's see how we hold up. Yeah, not worth it. We're going to lose too many ships. So, okay, but it's not impossible either. Like, that is destroyed. I don't know if that's permanent. I doubt it is. I'm sure they'll rebuild it. But, okay. This is doable, especially if we get our siege ships that we were talking about building out this way eventually as well. Okay. Very good. And I was wondering if that was going to summon all the boats out on the map. Oh my gosh, it might.
Attack.
We're not going to go all the way back in there. Ooh, would have been nice to see if we could snipe that one boat. Oh, they're all coming out now. We're definitely not going to fight within range of their defenses, but I kind of do want to take this fight. Do you think we have it? Focus on the big boats.
Construction of a ship has finished.
We've definitely lost some ships here.
Mithras.
I think we need to focus that ship, actually. go. This is definitely throwing away a few units that we probably shouldn't have,
It's gone especially well.
but I kind of wanted to see. And we should probably pick up all the flotsam that we've earned here. Anything good? Some sails, tiles. This will help us rebuild the fleet we just threw away. We're full. We consolidate it all here.
What could you possibly require? No worry, Praetor. As do we. What could you possibly require?
Ceasefire offer? No. We're winning. How would we? So many tiles. Oh, come on, get out of there. Alright, well, I'm not convinced the flotsam was worth our attention here, but you never know. Had to check. And the weapons are good. Weapons and sails. I mean, like I said, that is what we are going to need to rebuild the navy we just threw away. Threw away is unfair. We got good value for it. We definitely crashed a whole bunch of pirate ships, and he'll have to rebuild. I think the seas will be safer for some time, and we now know what we need to do to take this island out. I don't think we're going to do it right away, but it'll be nice once we do, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that is a lack of ropes, which is interesting. We'll have to crank out some more of those. So many tiles. Okay. Well, very good, very good, very good. I might add a couple more shrines just to keep our... Look how much that helped our Libertas workforce, right? I think we might add 1 or 2 or 3 more of those. These are like, we might as well. Anytime we have the shrine cap, we should make sure that we're using it, in my humble opinion. I think we've got everywhere maxed out except over in this corner here. So let's move one of these. Oh, I don't know. Out here, I suppose. And slap down one last shrine here. Good. I think we also could probably stand to upgrade a few of these to our plebes, which are not our strongest numbers here, even if we do expect to be using more of the Libertas. Although here, that's quite a few equities for cavalry maintenance, so they are expensive as well. Okay. It's interesting it takes both. Makes sense. I mean, you have your nobles on the horses and then your commoners supporting the nobles on the horses or something like that. That's cool. So we've got ourselves a burgeoning military here. I would even say, let's build a second cavalry. And more archers or more legionnaires? Legionnaires are the cooler unit. They also take plebes instead of Libertas. So we will, in fact, have to do a bit more upgrading. But that's very doable. Already resolved, although I would say we should do 2 blocks. Cool. And then our fleet, such as it is, such as
Waiting
remains.
for your decree.
We'll be back in a moment. And we'll keep grinding out more ships here, too. Cool. All right, the last thing, we should probably get some knowledge going here, some more research. Garrison, healing while encamped. I do kind of want to get stone walls up in our town. We could also research slingers, something I neglected over here, but we could have gotten a long time ago. You know, I think this might be my, I don't know, my Age of Empires or Civilization type game bias, but I just assumed that archers were better than slingers. Maybe that's not the case. Let's find out. We won't know until we research it. And we can improve them right away, at least. Might as well, right? We have slingers. Rudimentary but effective, so let's compare some stats. They're faster, lower morale, same head count and health, same terrible ability to handle melee, worse offense, worse accuracy, worse range, worse shots and defense. They are armor piercing. Appears to be their only actually helpful aspect. Yeah, okay, they're terrible. I don't understand why I would ever bother using these. I suppose they're cheaper, right? 1500 versus 25. Cheaper on the maintenance, ropes instead of weapons. Yeah, at this point, we certainly aren't ever going to use them. I think there was probably a window early on where they might have been helpful, but we had access to archers pretty much right away. I don't really understand. That is not a very impressive unit at first glance.
Construction of a ship has finished.
To me, at least.
Time flies.
More ships constructed. Very good.
A new unit has been
Our
recruited.
siege ships. Another horseman. Also very good. So this troop transport type ship that we built, where is he? Here somewhere. Is it this one? No, it's not. Is it? My gosh, what do we do with him? I can just go into the ships. Come on now, where are you? I have no idea what I did with it. Is it this? I see, it's not a military, it's a civilian ship. Well, it was hiding in plain sight. So he can only handle 2, right? Because we took up all of these slots. So we'll either need to use this for like key shock troops or have a few of these. Or maybe it's just not that big a deal that we have the highly upgraded version of this because, for example, right, a different version with no upgrades whatsoever could handle 5, right? That's the opportunity cost of one of these slots as well. I think we're going to make another, well, we have the cash, you know? I think we're going to make another troop transport type before we have to send these guys anywhere. But we're not in a rush yet. We still need to get our siege type ships built. For now, that'll do. Thinking about building a second shipyard, it's not really our bottleneck right now, but we could. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? We have a lot of productions here that are not military or particularly key. I think what I'm going to do is relocate a few of those things out this way. So I will be right back here. Yeah, all right. So I moved everything over here. there's definitely a trade-off, which is that we had a whole bunch of boosting technologies, or buildings rather, out along here that we are no longer capturing buildings for. So, right, there's not as much knowledge being generated by the hat maker, or is it the spinner? It is the spinner, I think, right? But I think it's worth it. We needed to kind of clean up and simplify this area as we move towards a military orientation. So we'll keep tidying up here and there, but I think that was worth doing. Worth doing. In fact, we can clean all of that up as well. I did not mean to destroy the warehouse. We will need the warehouse. But all right, very good. So here's more legionnaires. Everybody's all piled up over there. And these are our siege boats. Let's bring these materials in real quick as well. Still an excess of tiles, always. But here, we can drop off some weapons and armor. Always valuable. Not so much, again, on the tiles. So be it. The other thing I did over here, because we're not near our trading post, is drop a whole bunch of archer towers so that there is some defense along this area. The other thing we could do, frankly, is wall this so that it's not an invasion area. And, I mean, who cares? It's not like we're getting attacked anytime soon, but might as well, right? Be kind of fun to see what that looks like. So here's a gate. And a gate is useless unless and until it is walled to the edge of, I guess here, right? Until people can't cross it. I don't know, this seems to go past where I can build other buildings, but I don't want anyone to be able to walk through, so I think I'll build it as far as I can build it. I have no idea if that's functionally important or not. Right, see how it goes past this line? I don't really know what's up with that, but just to be safe, because a wall is useless if it has holes in it, it's not actually a wall. There you go, some defense. Why not? Even think, yeah, there's a tech over here for decreased wall upkeep. And let's get our archer towers to attack more. Why not? If we're investing in something, we might as well make sure it is upgraded and strong. Cool. You know what we haven't done in a while is check our consumer goods here. We've done a bit of upgrading. Let's see how we're doing. Where are we short, if anywhere? Actually still looking shockingly good. Wow, okay, cool. Well, that's nice. How about our other islands? Everywhere else is also okay. Everything we've chosen to provide does seem to have good coverage. Cool. All right, let's hop back to Albion for a brief moment and see if we can upgrade the Celtic population tiers. Now that we have our recreation ground over here, what are we short here? We still need... so we'll need these drinking horns or clan shields, right? So this is the last category we have to get to upgrade. And actually we'll need to do trousers and torques first as well. Or cheese and beer. All right, so there's still plenty to do out here. All right, we'll make that a focused attempt at a future date. What I'd really like to do now, I think we have our siege boats here kind of done. There's still a few, I'm just done with these tiles at this point. There's still a few of our ship-to-ship combat boats over here. So what I might do, not our troop transport, of course, that'll stay here. But what I might do is ask these siege boats to be, let's call it Control Group 3 and then Control Group 2 for our boat-on-boat combat. Let's mess around out here. Let's see if we can do any ranged damage, just given that they're already, weak. Let's see how it works. This might be a terrible idea. We'll find out. I'm sure we'll do a little bit of combat along the way. And actually, let's have everyone travel together so that we don't get our speedy flagship out in front and damaged as a result again. Cool. Certainly, we'll want to keep building additional ships here. We don't want our shipyard idle at all. The ropes look like they're starting to be maybe not a problem, but will be our bottleneck if we want to keep producing at that rate. So something to keep in mind there as well. We've definitely gone through our Libertas. The good news is we pushed everyone up to patricians basically that we can. And nice, some maintenance reduction there. I think we've built up pretty decent army, and we can in fact even check that against our competitors if we go in and, for example, our likely future war, we have more army power. And I think this is offensive army specifically. We have better defense, which I think includes our towers and walls and such. Great. And we're winning on everything else. No one else has a navy, which is pretty wild. Okay, so we should be able to
I've seen it.
afford a war that we should be able to win pretty aggressively, pretty thoroughly, I would think.
There are signs of public unrest.
Well, that's too bad. It seems like they are friends, so to speak, and that makes it more likely that we're going to have to deal with the Emperor's intervention, which might make things over before they start. I don't know. Find out. But you know who doesn't have the benefit of the Emperor's intervention is the pirate. So let's see. I don't think we outrange these defenses, but let's find out. Ooh, let's focus down the one we started on. Yeah, we do not. Okay. No worries. Do these guys do much damage? They're pretty slow firing. Well, let's just see. Should we keep pushing in here? This is probably a mistake, I would think. Yeah, we are now in the range of 4, which we are not going to do. Cool. All right. Well, we know. We have probed their defenses. This is doable. It's just going to take more ships than we currently have. And that is fine. Now we know. But I think what we have is enough ships to transport a little bit of an invasion force over to one of our unsuspecting competitors. That I do think we have the capability to do. We won't do it today. I think we are going to leave it here, in fact, for today. But hopefully, we've set it up so that we can actually probably declare pretty early, I would think, on Lissima next episode. So, stay tuned for that. I'm kind of excited. I mean, this could go one of two ways. Either we're wildly overprepared and we're just going to sweep through and do a whole bunch of damage right away, or we have no idea what we're doing, and we're going to bounce right off walls and have to come back and lick our wounds. Let's find out. I'm very curious. I'm very curious. This will be my very first taste of land combat in this game. Any either way, it's very cool. I'm very excited that it's a part of 117. Feel like, I don't know if I felt like it was missing before, but it felt like maybe a missed opportunity in a game that in 1800 that was full of just really way too much content, frankly, in a lot of ways. It felt like an odd thing that they didn't end up pursuing land combat in that one after stuffing it to the gills with DLC and everything. But cool to see it here, and excited to get into it next time. I'm still having a blast here. This is a very fun game. This is a very fun game. I hope you're enjoying it as well. And if you are, as I said, definitely make sure to come on by for the next one and see how the invasion goes. But until the next one, have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye.